FORA.tv. The world is thinking.
But there have also been very hostile responses, as you can imagine. I mean, some of the reviews are the very worst reviews I've ever had for anything. Some of the reviews have been sort of hysterically hostile. The less encumbered the reviewer has been by actual acquaintance with the book, the more hysterical they've been in their response to it. And you can see why I think it's rather an interesting commentary on this very bad-tempered quarrel that's been going on between religion and non-religion. I'm very proud indeed to be associated with my friends Richard Dawkins and Christopher Hitchens, with whom I agree on everything. People say that Richard can sometimes seem very rebarbative, very aggressive and confrontational, can offend people. It's mainly, of course, because Richard, for many, many, many decades, has been trying to explain evolutionary biology. And when people pop up saying that the world was created 6,000 years ago, it annoys him. And you can understand why. It's very interesting, you know, every year thousands, not hundreds, but quite literally thousands of books are published of a religious nature, about prayer or about religious stories. The best-selling book in America recently has been a little boy who went to heaven and come back and told everybody what it's like there. And that's the best-selling book there. Thousands of such books exist. And yet half a dozen books by Dawkins and Hitchens and Sam Harris and Daniel Dennett have really got the doves in the dovecote fluttering. You know, really upset everybody and worried everybody. And I think it's an interesting fact. I think also the reaction from some people to the good book, they expecting it that it's an attack on religion or a satire on the Bible or a claim that it's going to displace the Bible. Of course it isn't any of those things. I mean, in others of my things I've written, other books I've written, I've been very frank and blunt in my opposition to religion, yes. But this book is not an attack on religion at all. I mean, any open-minded person of religion could look into it and see what Cicero, Aristotle, or Hume, or Spinoza has to say about something and find there resources of tremendous value. These are very, very profound insights and beautiful responses to life and all its difficulties. It's a book for everybody. It's not an anti-religious book or a book only for atheists. And by the way, some of my critics have been fellow atheists. They put their hands on their hips and say, well, atheists don't need a Bible. What are you up to? You're making it seem as though we think we're a religion. We can think for ourselves. We don't need it. It's not a necessity. And I say in response to them, you're right. You don't need it. It's not a necessity. But it might be of some use to some people. Even atheists sometimes read. And they might have to have some kind of suggestions which might help them along with their thinking. And that's fine. By the way, I also get critics who say how annoyed they are that there are no references, no footnotes. They come across some really rather wonderful insight and they go, who said that? Who wrote that? And this is a great instinct that we all have, especially more educated you are, the more footnotes you want. And they're desperately annoyed that there aren't any footnotes. And my response to that is to say, next time you're in an art gallery, look at the people going around at that gallery. You'll notice they spend miles more time reading the little plaque next to the painting than looking at the painting. And we make this mistake with what's written. Oh, Aristotle said that. Oh, well, now that's pretty good. Fred Smith said it. Oh, well, who's he? If the writer, the author, the source of a saying comes between you and the saying, if you don't just focus on the idea or the insight, which is what I want, which is why I took the texts away from their sources. I don't attribute them to anybody. There they are, the ideas by themselves. And my justification for it is this, that anything wise, anything true, belongs to everybody. It doesn't matter who said it. If it's wise or true, it's our own. Anybody can take possession of it and make use of it in their lives. You can't say, oh, gosh, that's such a wonderful insight. What a pity I can't use it because Aristotle said it. Well, I mean, that would be a travesty.